So I bought myself a gift. We got the gouache colors from ARTZEA. And I got the 24 color set. So I'm gonna jump right into kind of swatching them for you guys so we can see what we have to work with when you're working with new material, and especially like new colors, because typically the tubes don't match what the colors look like. It's kind of helpful to swatch them. So I'm really excited that I bought this, partially because I'm really bad at buying things for myself. I typically just kind of want things and never do anything to like buy them for myself. So I hope you guys can relate to that. So I'm excited that I bought it. Anyway, here's what the tubes look like, and they have like the color and the name on the tubes. So I'm showing you this upside down, but we're gonna live through that, but you can kind of see what happened there. And so when you open it up, it opens up just straight like pigment. It doesn't have like a metal tab on top like some do. So this one's like, once you open it, it's right there ready to go. They feel really nice too. They feel like very nice plastic, coating on the tubes. Like they feel like they can last a long time, which is nice. Yeah, so this first set of colors is like a yellows and a little bit of red tones in there. Gosh, I still love that like mustard yellow. I'll let y'all get a closer look of that in a second, but it is so pretty. So pretty. Another thing I learned like throughout doing this is that, see, the mustard yellow is so pretty. And that peach is also gorgeous. And one thing I've learned is like you can't overwater it. Blues are really hard to not overwater because they're just already like so liquidy. So that's one thing I kind of worked on throughout this whole process of trying it out. Yeah, but now I'm in a set of blues. And yeah, so the colors in order right now are titanium white, and then it goes to lemon yellow, mid yellow, yellow ochre, light apricot, which I love the name of that, and scarlet red. And then we got into a ultramarine blue, a lilac, a sky blue, which is absolutely gorgeous. I love the sky blue. And then cerulean blue, viridian green, and deep green. So those are the ones that I have right now. And now we're on to another set. This first one is vermilion red. The next is burnt sienna, which I would have to say is my favorite out of the set. Crimson red. You got a rose. A peach rose. A peach red. So rose and peach red, and then Prussian blue. Prussian blue is really nice. It's like a blue with a little green in it. It's really pretty. But yeah, what I'm about to show you right now is like why we kind of swatch, because you can see that peach does not, the bright peach red does not quite match the swatch. It's very bright and almost like fluorescent. So yeah, that burnt sienna, man, that gives me life. Anyway, yeah. How are you guys? I haven't really talked much in this video so far. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a good week. And I hope that you end up enjoying watching me swatch all these colors. Yeah, so now we're into a sap green, a pale green, a burnt umber, noir, which is always black, gray, and white. So that was one thing that was interesting. So the reason why I swatched a black next to both of the whites is because I like to see what it shows up as actually, because one thing I did notice that was a difference between is that the titanium white is way more white than the white, which typically is how it works. It's titanium white is normally like a bleached color versus white is a little bit more tan or gray. And I did notice that the white like showed up more on the paper because of its different traits. But yeah, I went ahead and jumped into a little mountain to kind of test it out. And looking back on it, I totally like overwatered all this. I was like really frustrated because I wasn't understanding how to like work with it, and it ended up just becoming like a watercolor. I was like, gosh dang, I already have watercolors, what am I doing wrong? And yeah, so here's a closer look at that fail of a thing. And then I tried it thicker and I had better results, but I think I was still a little too thick on this one, or I didn't let things like dry long enough. And then I tried laying some color pencil on top, and that made me feel better. It was not nearly as heartbreaking as like the first one was. I was really sad about the first one, but that's okay. We learned and we got through it. I even got to make a finished illustration. So yeah, I'm just gonna let y'all enjoy this little video of me finishing a project, and I'll talk a little bit more afterwards about it. Okay, bye guys. Good morning, guys, or whatever time you're watching this. Good day. Good day, mate? I don't know. Anyway, I just made that illustration, or at least in y'all's video. So I made the illustration on Wednesday, and it is now Saturday. So it's been a little bit of time cap, and I just recorded the audio you heard overplaying the video today too. So sorry for the long time no speak, I guess. Y'all don't know the difference, but I don't know. Yeah, but I made this guy, and yeah, I'm super happy with him. I learned a lot while making him. I obviously watered down the gouache too much for most of it, and then I kind of realized that. But in the end, I think it worked out for the better, because you can't really hear. Because I was able to get these like little pink parts like showing through when I layered the thicker gouache on top, because I did the wash underneath. So I'm actually really happy that I did that process in the way I did. So I think that's how I'm gonna like work from it for at least for a little bit now, is do a wash and then do a thicker layer after that. But I also wanted to kind of talk about how Remy's like really close to the camera. She's freaking me out. Remy's the little cat, not the big cat, but the little cat. Yeah, so I wanted to talk a little bit about how I came up with the idea for the illustration. It's actually going to be a 9-part series, so this is like technically the third panel is the one I made first, but it's the one I wanted to make first, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so it was an assignment for my advanced studio class where we had to make a artwork with a similar theme or based off of the themes found in Educated. So Educated is a memoir by Tara Rustover that kind of talks about how she grew up in, I believe rural Idaho, and then after that she went to college, and she was like very homeschooled, never set foot in like public institutions and things of that sort, like very Christian Science background. And then she went to university and had to learn things like what the Holocaust was. And yeah, so this book is kind of like her reflecting on growing up and becoming educated, is the way she phrases it in a way. And yeah, so that made me, when I was thinking over the themes of the book and what I would want to make based off of the book. I haven't read it all, disclaimer, I've not read it. I just had to make an assignment out of it, and it's due in like a week or two, so it's been a lot to read the book and then do the assignment. So sorry, Tara, if you're watching this. Yeah, but I decided to really focus on the fact that she had to reflect on her past life, reflect on growing up and her years in college and her years beforehand. And so in that like spirit of reflection, I wrote a first I made like notes on all the themes. So here, I'll show you guys. First, I made notes on all the different aspects of the book and things I could focus on, and then I started making lists about, what is it about? Yeah, about experiences I've had over my past 4 years in college. Then after that, I decided to write a letter to my past self. So here's a little hint on what that consists of. And I already decided that I wanted like a 9-panel like series that kind of pulled abstracted like words or phrases or like kind of advice that I gave my past self into the illustrations. And then I decided at first for images, I was gonna like represent what I was saying there, or what I was talking about, because I wrote to like my old fish Ham. He was a beta fish, and I really loved him. He like felt like a friend. He came with me from my first year of college, and then he died, and I was really sad. And I still think about him a lot. Like eventually I want a tattoo of him. Yeah, but he felt like a friend that I got to keep with me through a lot of changing seasons while I was in college. So yeah, so I wrote a little bit about him. But in the end, I decided to do landscapes, which is like a thing of mine. So I did panels of all the different landscapes that I've been to over the past year, because I've traveled a lot. I've been to Iceland, I've been to Marfa, Texas, I went to New Mexico, I went to Arkansas, among a few other places too that I can't think of. Destin, I went to Destin, I went to Mexico. Traveled a lot these past 4 years, which I think informs a lot of my work in working with landscapes and why I like to represent space in the form of landscapes. Anyway, so this one is the illustration you guys saw, except with a lot smaller words. And yeah, so that's how I came up with the idea. I just make, when like coming up with an assignment idea, I try not to overcomplicate it, and I try to just kind of narrow down what are the, like, by listing things out, what I like about the story, what I think applies to me about the story, and how can I represent that in artwork. Also, if you didn't notice, I later on added more black colored pencil, so that way it was a little bit more contrasted between the two mountains, and this one looked like further back versus this one. It was really fun to make, and I'm glad y'all got to see the process of it. Yeah, and drink some more coffee. Yeah, I got this mug. I love this mug. At the Harry Potter World in Universal Studios. Yeah, we went there over Christmas break, and it was really fun. I actually still have some candy from that, so whenever I decide it's time to go down memory lane and eat some Harry Potter candy, I'll let y'all join for that. I'm also like thinking about like this week in general, and how I kind of had this I don't know what to film kind of moment. This week I've been kind of just already kind of reflecting on what this vlog could like mean to me and what it can mean to people that I care about, and I kind of just realized how I wish I would have done it sooner. I wish I would have put myself out there sooner, and partially just to document. I feel like life is so fleeting and it's easy to miss, and part of like who I am as a person is like I like to hold on to things, and I don't do a good job in like practicing that like need and want that I have, and vlogging is just a great way to do that. Like I wish I would have vlogged what happened in Orlando, and not like just so I can show people, but just like for myself too, to be able to look back on that, because I didn't like hardly take any pictures. I was very much so living in the moment, which is good, but I wish now to learn what it's like to live while documenting, capture the past while living in it, sort of deal. I don't know, it was kind of a rant, but thank you for listening. Yeah, so I've actually been getting really, I feel like, emotional over the vlog and over the idea of vlogging, and how kind of like precious it is, how precious it is to just be able to share things, and to, or for me, just be able to look back on my life and care about it. So yeah, I've been really sappy this week. I think it's because, so I have this like extroverted tendency. I'm like an extrovert at heart, but I've spent a lot of time by myself this week. I've spent a lot of time working on the vlog, and I'm thinking about opening up a shop on my website, and so I've just been like working and thinking and dreaming, and a lot of that has been done by myself, in between classes or during class if the class is boring or whatever. And yeah, because I'm an extrovert, that does not always work out well for me if I do it too much, because I refuel with other people. So I'm an artist that has to work by myself. Like when I make work, typically it's important that I'm by myself while I'm making it, because otherwise I get really easily distracted. So I become like this enclosed capsule while I'm like making stuff, and that fuels my artistic soul, and it makes me very happy and excited about the work I'm making. But then on the other hand, if I do it too much and I don't invest time in the people I care about and friends and deepening those relationships and just hanging out with people, kind of fueling this extroverted soul, I get really like emotional and sad a little bit. So I didn't like do a super great job in taking care of like both of those parts this week, which is okay. It happens. Yeah, but I'm excited for today because today is a friend's, very close friend's birthday party. So that'll be a really fun refuel of my extroverted soul. And I'm really excited about it. I don't know how much you get about the stuff that I'm talking about you guys actually care about. So let me know if this is just a rant, or is it something that you guys would like to hear more about, my thoughts and my feelings in a little coffee time. Maybe that's what we'll call it if we end up doing it more often. We'll call it coffee time or tea time, depending on whatever I'm having. Yeah, I'm really wanting to get this vlog out. Like, I'm really itching for people to see it and to post content. So I might even post it today. Just because right now I don't have a set schedule for my life. Like, I do and then I don't. I kind of just want to push to make things, and when I feel like the vlog is over, that's when I'll end it, versus like having a set schedule, like I'll post every Tuesday or Friday. Right now my life is just kind of more spontaneous, and I think I'm just gonna allow it to be like that. Yeah, but in order to keep track of when I'm posting things, so I'm always gonna add an Instagram post, like essentially every time I post on YouTube. So if you didn't know, there's a link right down there that links to my Instagram, which you can follow me, and then you can keep track of when exactly I post things. Of course, you can always subscribe as well, and keep a track of, and then it'll notify you, of course, but you have to turn on the notification button too. So subscribe, notification button, and then it'll let you know every time I make a new post. So there's a lot of ways you can keep a track of when I'm posting and when I'm gonna be sharing these moments of my life with you. Just got like a big eye burger. I can never pronounce that right. Burger. I blame it on like me learning English improperly, but maybe I suck at pronouncing things. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so I'd love to see you back here again. So let's be friends. Subscribe. Like this video if you liked it. Thank you so much again for listening to me rant like this. You guys are really the sweetest, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.